So in this video, I want to talk about when we will see WB Montreal's second game. Now, I say second game as in the game that's not Gotham Knights. So the really quick of it, what you should know is when they were making Gotham Knights, there were job postings that were kind of universally seen that indicated they are working on a second game, right? So Gotham Knights comes out, there was already a game in the background being worked on, and now the Gotham Knights team, they are also working on a brand new game. So what we have now is 2 unannounced games from WB Montreal, one game that's very, very recently, right, it just started, that was the Gotham Knights team. But the other game, the game that I'm talking about here, we don't know much about it, but we do know that it's coming from a team that probably was formed roughly 3 or so years ago. So I don't see this as impossible that we could see this game rather soon. So when do I think we would see it? Would it be even this year? I'd like to say yes. I think in the modern day and with these companies just taking their time and trying to be as cautious as possible, and then with, of course, delays that happen, right, the other side of things, I'm going to say next year. I think 2024. I think if you can go into 2024 and deliver, or at least have Suicide Squad come out, but also deliver on it and have it be a good game, if you could get additional information on the Wonder Woman game, which I think needs to come, I would prefer it to be this year, but it does seem more and more like it's going to be next year, right? That at least we would hear more about it. Maybe it comes out next year, maybe you're looking at 2025, and then we would also maybe hear about WB Montreal's game. I mean, again, you think about it, next year, that'd be closer to 4 years that they've been working on the second game. Now, a thing to note is we don't know how much resources they have, how many resources they have compared to the Gotham Knights team. Also, pretty common in a situation like this, and I think even one of the job postings do confirm it, that some of that team, the team we're talking about right now, actually helped on Gotham Knights. This is not uncommon. It happens all the time, but you think about it in terms of a timetable, and if you're taking from that team that's working on their brand new, right, they're working on their own game, and you have them help out with Gotham Knights, you're going to be taking a little bit time away from them where they're not working on their new game. So I don't think that's going to put them back too far. We know modern day games, 5, 6 or so years, right? That's generally the average for kind of a AAA game. I do believe it was confirmed in job postings that this is a superhero game. It's a DC game. So if you're wondering if they're doing, random IPs or creating their own, no, this will be something in the DC universe. You can speculate as to what it is all day. I know we've done similar things. I think eventually you get a Justice League game. I think eventually you get a Superman game, and then you kind of maybe work out from there. I know people have talked about Green Arrow and such like that, maybe The Flash, maybe Aquaman. I think Rocksteady makes the most sense to do Justice League just because they have a Justice League in Suicide Squad, Kill a Justice League. So maybe WB Montreal would be the ones to do Superman. Maybe that would be another team. But I am looking forward to it. I mean, look, love or hate Gotham Knights, it's another DC game. It's coming from really an original studio. I mean, yeah, you can hold them accountable to Gotham Knights. I don't really think that would be fair, though, right? Because that would be a team that maybe they helped on it a little bit, but for the most part, they were kind of created in the background as Gotham Knights was being worked on. This was a team that was created the same time as that, but it was created kind of separate from it, right? So this is kind of their first attempt. Honestly, much like Gotham Knights was their first attempt. The team that made Gotham Knights is very different than the team that made Arkham Origins, and they were there probably, 4, 5, 6 years ago. They kind of all assembled there. So again, as much as I would like to say this year, second half of this year, obviously we're in the second half of this year, right? So maybe like the Game Awards time, I do think, I mean, unless you do some sort of like DC fandom thing, which I think largely has been kind of eliminated, which is fine. I don't really care too much. But if you think about what comes next, Suicide Squad, you just got to get that out and you got to hope for the best. Wonder Woman, which I know I'm very, very excited for it. I know you guys that have, talked in the chat and comments and stuff, I know my crowd is very, very excited for Wonder Woman. That's going to be a huge one, right? So do you announce this before it? I think you do. I think you announce this game before Wonder Woman releases, maybe even before Suicide Squad releases, but you don't put too much into it. Then you have to decide, do you want to announce it 3 years early? I mean, Wonder Woman just did that. Wonder Woman announced itself, and here we are approaching 2 years of not hearing or seeing a single thing. I hate that strategy, but that is a strategy that is used. So you could argue that if you see the WB Montreal game next year, well, does it come out a year after, or does it come out like 3 years after? Do you have to wait forever? I'd prefer the shorter term. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.